Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I started playing this game again in the last, 4 or 5 days. It's called King's Raid, and I used to play it when I played Summoner's War. And I got to a point where I was just playing too many of these games at once, so I reeled it back in and just focused exclusively on Summoner's War. But this is one I always liked and wanted to get back to, so as I've slowed down with Raid a little bit, as a lot of people are, I think, I was looking through my old games and looking for some stuff to play, and I thought, I'm gonna hop back in King's Raid and give it a shot. So that's what I've done. Now, real quick before I get into this video is not sponsored. I have had no contact with Vespa. I'm not being compensated for this. This is all just what I think about this game. This is just a video I'm making. Now, they are having some content creator contest that I did enter. This video, to my understanding, has nothing to do with it, though. I don't think I've been accepted yet. I don't know a lot of the details, but I actually found out about that after I came back to this game, so the timing of it seems to have worked out pretty nicely for me if I get accepted. But either way, that's the closest thing to an incentive that I have to make this video, but this video was coming regardless, so just to get all that out of the way. What I really like about this game and Vespa is that nothing in this game seems to be behind a paywall. Everything is farmable. Everything is obtainable. There's nothing in this game that I'm aware of at this point that you can only get by spending money, or that is super, super rare to get. Everything seems to be specifically farmable. And of course it's grindy and it's long term, and that's the nature of it. I don't think any of us are surprised by that at this point. And I personally am a big fan of the grind. It's one of the things I love about these games is the long-term grind. So everything can be farmed. Now, if I tried to touch on everything in this game, this video would be 40 minutes and I'd have to speed talk through it. There's so much content in this game that there's no way I'm going to cover it in one video that anybody's going to be willing to click on, because it's going to be an hour long. So I'm going to just briefly talk about the game and what I like about it, and then I have other videos that I'm going to do about each different type of content in the game, and then just some other things that I like about the game that I want to spend more time talking about. But what I am going to talk about in this game, in this video primarily, is the hero system in it. It's different than anything I've really seen, and I think they did a really good job of doing it differently. So there is no hero summoning to my knowledge in this game. You can come into this shop and buy them with gems, or you can get them from the Heroes Inn, which we'll talk about in a minute. That way's free and requires a lot more patience. But if there's someone that you like that you just want, you can come in here and get them. And what's really cool is that I have not gotten the impression, at least, that any particular champion hero or set of heroes is like must-have for every part of the game. It seems like they're all fairly balanced, which means as long as you're taking team composition into consideration, you can use whatever heroes you want to use. Like I don't think you have to use Nyx as your magic damage dealer as opposed to any other magic damage dealer, right? I think they can all be viable if you put the energy into them, if you put the resources and build them properly and put them with the appropriate team comp for whatever it is you're trying to do. And I think that is so cool, because it gets so old playing these games and part of the learning process being, which heroes do I need? Which champions do I need to do this content? This is really cool in the sense that if I like Cassandra and Theo, I can buy them and put them in a team, or I can try to get them from the inn and put them in a team. I think that's really, really cool. I really appreciate that as someone who's been playing these games for a really long time. So you can come in here and get any champ you want. If there's someone you think looks cool, you can come in here and get them. I think that's generally frowned upon. I think the way that generally is recommended for you to do it is through the Heroes Inn. Now, of course, it requires a lot more patience and time, but it can be done, and it can be done totally free. You come in here and there's going to be 6 heroes, and I don't know how often it refreshes. Maybe every 24 hours if you don't start a relationship with someone. That's what it's called. But like, I've started one with her, so now she's here, and I can come in every day and I can greet, which is totally free. I can then also start conversation, which costs social points, which is nice that social points are actually used for something meaningful. Most of these games, they're always worthless. Summoner's War, you got them and you could use them on a summon, which was basically the equivalent of an unknown scroll or a green shard in Raid. So it's nice that here they're actually usable. And then Send Gift is gold. I think the one I did was 60,000 gold, so it's not like it's going to break the bank or anything. So you just come in here every day and do all 3 of those, or whatever ones you can afford or want to do. And in a couple of weeks, I'll have a new champ, right? Or a new hero. Gotta stop that. So that's the only way that RNG really seems to tie into how you can get heroes for free, is who shows up in your inn. So you know, you can accumulate them that way, or just grind up the gems and go in and buy the ones you want. I really think that's cool. Last thing I really want to touch on in this vid, there's so much to talk about, is just the heroes themselves. There's a lot to them. There's a lot going on. There's a lot that you can do, and like I said, I could even build Roy up, who's a 1-star. I could build him up, and he would be just as viable to my at least what I'm gathering so far, with the right resources and gear and all that stuff. But there's obviously the gear that we're looking at, and every hero in the game has their own unique weapon. So like, this is Maria's unique weapon. It's specific to her. I have Luna's, I have hers, I have Castle's. I don't have this guy's yet. But that's where summoning comes into play. You can summon equipment and have chances to get people's unique weapons and really high level gear. But there's also things you get from doing achievements and missions and pushing through the campaign. Like, you get unique weapon tickets where you can pick anybody's unique weapon in the game that you want. So maybe there's a hero you have plans to get, or somebody you've already got, and you want to go ahead and get their weapon. You can use those tickets to do that. So the game does a really good job of rewarding you for playing it. I mean, I had 6,000 gems when I logged back into this 4 or 5 days ago, and I'm at 14,000 now. And a lot of that's because I'm still in the new player grind. It's not always that easy to farm them, but as it's the new player grind. I'm going through the campaign for the first time. You get a lot of gems for that. I think I'm getting a welcome back package that's giving me some stuff. They've got their 1,000-day anniversary event going right now that gives you a lot of stuff. So I'm getting a lot more than I would as a later game player. But even so, it seems to do a good job of rewarding you for playing the game. So, and then you can put runes in the gear, and that's where you get like your lifesteal effects, bumps in your damage, your speed, your crit, things of that nature. Beyond that, there's costumes that seem to have perks. So like any of these, I think, would give her like a 3% EXP boost. And they all these different themes. I can put pieces of different costumes together, I believe. If I want to change the skin on the weapon, I can come in and do that. There's a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of customization. There's a lot of attention to detail. Seems to be a lot of love put in this game by Vespa. And I don't know if I said it already, but I think this is their only game and their only project. So they put a lot into it, and it shows. It really does show. They seem to be more interested in having a good game and a happy player base than they do making money. Money seems to be secondary to pride in their product, and I personally love that. It is very refreshing. So one thing I totally forgot, I don't know how it slipped my mind, because it's one of the most important things I wanted to talk about, was the skills. Every champ has 4 skills. There's 3 active and a passive. That's my understanding so far anyway. But if you notice up here, we have these books, these skill up books. The gray, green, blue, and purple, right? So gray books are for the first skill, green books are for the second skill, blue books third, purple books fourth. Now if you'll notice, she's a magic hero. Her books have a magic symbol on them. So you can get books for each class, and that's how you skill up that class's skills. They're farmable, folks. You can farm these books, which I don't know how I forgot to say this, but that's the thing that I think most of my raid people are gonna be sold on, is you can farm your skill ups. There's a place that you can go specifically and farm these books, and whatever it is you need, you can go in there and get them. You also get rewarded them a lot as you play through the game, and different versions of that reward, where you can choose which books you get, or it's random. You get a random stack of books or whatever, but yeah, you can farm your skill up. So when I say nothing's behind a paywall and everything's farmable, I mean nothing's behind a paywall and everything's farmable. And I think that's really all you need to hear, especially if you're a raid player, to know that this game's worth checking out. So that's it. I just needed to interject. I can't believe I didn't say that in the first recording of this. But yeah, back to 10 minutes ago, gigs. I just think it's such a cool... That whole system with the heroes is so cool that, you know, you're not going to summon someone that all of a sudden makes everything easy. You're going to have... You pick who you like, who you want to build. You have to put together team compositions. You have to put the right gear on them and build them for what you want to use them for. But you're not at the mercy of your RNG, so to speak, like you are heavily in other games. So that's just a real quick look at one of the many things that I think is really great about this game. So I'm going to make a few more videos going into each type of the content and you know, trying to break it down. I don't see a lot of really beginner-friendly guides for this game, so hopefully I'm able to break this stuff down in a way that puts out some good beginner guides for players and makes it easy to understand, because like I said, there's just so much to take in this game, and even some of the beginner guides that I've tried to watch have just gone straight over my head. So I'm just going to kind of have to figure all this out for myself, I think, and then try to relay it to any newer players. So that's it. I could sit here for 45 minutes and talk about all the stuff going on in this game. There's such a monstrous amount of content in this game that I'm not going to go over in this video alone, but it will be covered. So anybody that wants to join the guild, anybody that wants to check out the game and join the guild, I'm only going to be accepting applications from my YouTube community. I'm not going to be taking random ones from in-game. So if you're watching this and you want to check this game out, or you already played and you want to join my guild, the name of the guild is McGiggle. so send me an application. Let me know in the comments if you apply and what your in-game name is, because like I said, I'm only going to be taking people from the YouTube community. So if I don't recognize you from a comment, I'm not accepting the invitation. So let me know in the comments if you applied and what your name is, and we'll get you in. And apparently it's really, really crucial to be in a guild. I don't know anything about it yet. I'm going to have to poke around for the next day or two and figure out what exactly it entails. But it's just a great game with a solid developer, a ton of content, and a game where nothing seems to be stuck behind a paywall. And I have such an appreciation for that at this point that I had to, you know, I wanted to incorporate this into my mix and start playing it and, you know, bring some players over to it. So that's it. That's it. I think I've ranted long enough. Hopefully I convinced you to check it out at the very least and see how you feel about it. And like I said, I got more guides and stuff coming soon. And I'm still going to be doing my raid stuff. For all my raid people, don't think that I'm leaving raid or anything. I'm just going to begin to incorporate some other things into the mix and play some different games. And this is going to be one of them. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.